Maximizers, welcome back to day 2 of Vlogmas. For today's video, I want to talk to you about how you can save $500 for Christmas. It's December, Black Friday just passed, and I can feel like the Christmas anxiety coming over all of us. But I wanted to take a second to help you be more intentional and strategic with your money, and I'm going to share with you 4 tips to help you save $500 just in time for you to complete your Christmas shopping. If this is your first time watching me, welcome. My name is Crystal, aka Krys the Maximizer. I am a strategic money coach, and I help women be intentional with the money that they have so they can do more of what they want. So specifically today, what you want is more money to go Christmas shopping. Now, I'm using $500 because that's a decent base, but it could be $1,000, it could be $100. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you want to save. You can use these tips, tricks, and strategies to help you save the money that you need for Christmas. So let's go ahead and dig right on in. The first step, the first tip is for you to decide that you are going to be committed to saving this money, right? The way to make progress on any goal is to decide and take massive action. But it's all around your mindset of deciding, I am going to save $500 by December 15th. I'm going to save $500 by December 20th, right? So that I have enough money to do what I want, right, for Christmas. Savings needs to be a priority. It cannot be an afterthought. We're going to talk about that in one of the other tips, but you need to decide today that saving for Christmas is going to be a priority, and it's going to be a part of my spending plan that I create for the month of December. So step number 1 is to get clear with yourself and decide, I am deciding to save X amount of dollars. In our case, it's $500 for Christmas. Tip number 2 is now you have to create a money plan. You have to decide, what is the $500 for? So if you are choosing $500, you want to do a breakdown. Put $500 at the top of your paper, and then you're going to decide, what is every dollar going to be spent on? Are you spending $100 on decorations? Are you spending $150 on Christmas dinner? Are you spending the other $250 on gifts for friends and family? Are you going to put in a portion of that money to buy things for yourself? Because money flows where there's a purpose. So you want to get very clear on what the $500 is for. Now, this can reign true when you're saving for anything: vacation, a car, a house, a new baby, moving, whatever it is. Your money needs a purpose. And the more detailed you are, the more able you're going to be to save that specific thing. On the flip side, if you do your $500 budget and you realize, oh crap, $500 isn't going to be enough. I need to either lower my expectations of what I'm going to buy, or increase the budget that I'm going to be saving for. So knowing your money plan, how you plan to spend the money that you're saving, is going to help you twofold. But I need you to sit down and decide, if I'm saving $500, what am I going to be using it for? And then ultimately you can decide, is $500 enough, or do you need more? Tip number 3, in my opinion, is one of the most important. You need to decide where you're going to put this money. When it comes to saving for something long-term or short-term, your savings cannot be intermingled with your rent money, with your car insurance money, with your grocery money, with your gas money. The money cannot be commingled. So you've got to decide, are you going to be using a separate checking account? Are you going to be using a separate savings account? Are you going to go old school and save the money in cash, in an envelope? Are you going to pull out coins and put the coins in a glass jar that you have to break in order to get the money out? You've got to decide what works best for you. As the money coach, it's not my job to tell you like what to do with your money and like exactly how, which method is best for you to save it. You've got to decide that. I prefer a separate bank account that's away from my main money that I manage every month. So I have like a Chime, I have Capital One 360. When I'm saving, it will go in those respective funds, right? But you've got to decide where you're going to put the money. A lot of times people will be ready to save, but they don't have a concrete place to put the money. So then the money stays in your checking account, and guess what? You spend it, but not for its intended purpose. So I'm encouraging you to decide, when you decide that you're going to save, when you decide what you're saving for, then you've got to decide, I am going to put this money in, my Chase bank account. I'm going to put this money in my, credit union savings account. You decide where you want to put the money so you can build it up and you have, a space for it to go. That's not your main money where, all of your bills and expenses are paid out of. The 4th tip is to save your money like it's a bill. right? So once you decide that you're going to save, now you need to allocate it appropriately. So if you only have 2 paychecks between now and when you want to have the money, right? You don't want to have it on December 25th because then you can't shop. So maybe you want to have it by December 20th. If you get paid twice, you've got to take $250 per paycheck, right? You've got to take $100 a week starting now and put that away so that you have the $500 by December 20th, right? So you have got to decide, how am I going to save this money like a bill, make it non-negotiable? Because remember, you have that spending plan. And whether you decide for it or not, most of us are going to find a way to spend that money for Christmas. So you want to do it intentionally. So you really got to put it into your overall monthly spending plan and save like a bill. Now, tip number 5 is a tip that's going to help you increase your income. So if you sat down and you're like, I looked at what I make per month. I looked at all my bills and expenses, and I don't have an extra $500 to save for Christmas, but I need it, for my Christmas dinner, for my presents, for my decorations. I need the money. So my 5th tip is to get a gig. It's December. There's a lot of places hiring for part-time, right? You could go work retail part-time for the Christmas season. It usually goes like from Black Friday through like the 1st or 2nd week of January, right? Commit yourself to a gig that can help you make that extra $500, $600, $700, $1,000 that you need to get through the Christmas season. If you don't want to go work in retail, I understand. You can get a gig like Uber Eats. You can do DoorDash. You can do Instacart, right? You can go out and use your car and use your physical body as a gig. The great thing about Uber Eats and DoorDash and Instacart is that you can choose your hours. When I Instacart on average, I can make between $100 and $150 in a few hours, like between 4 to 6 hours. You do that 5 times and you've got the $500 that you need for Christmas, right? But you can do it a little bit more. Maybe you go out 10, 12 days and you make an extra $1,000 and you can really have the amazing Christmas that you desire. Some gigs that you can do from home if you're like, Crystal, I don't want to drive. Go check out Fiverr, right? Go look at Fiverr on the side of like being a service provider. Are you a good proofreader? Can you make graphics on Canva? Whatever your skills are, you can find it on Fiverr. There's also another gig site called Upwork. Again, where you can look to see what jobs are available and you can apply yourself. Well, not really jobs, y'all. It's a gig, right? A small business might be saying, hey, I need you to organize my Google Docs. I'm paying $35 for this gig. I need it done within 24 hours. You'd go in, you look at my Google Docs, you'd organize them all out. Bam, gig is done. You get paid. So you can do at-home gig work. You can go in your car and gig work. Or you can pick up a part-time job during this holiday season to help you increase your income. You can never budget your way out of a deficit. So if you want to make that extra $500 and not have it come out of your salary, I encourage you to get a gig. So I really hope that these 5 tips were super helpful for you. I'm going to recap them for you. So tip number 1 is to decide that you're going to save. Tip number 2 is to create your money plan and decide what you are saving for. What are you going to be buying with the money that you save? Tip number 3, put the money that you're saving in a separate bank account, in your mattress, in a glass jar, in an envelope, so you have all that money in a special place. Tip number 4 is to save your money like a bill. Make it non-negotiable. Look at your paycheck. Make the appropriate transfers or withdrawals so that you do not allow yourself to slack and not save this money for this important event, which is Christmas. And tip number 5, go out and get a gig if you need to increase your income. You can do it for short term, 4 to 6 weeks, make the money that you need and have, the best Christmas ever, right? So I hope these tips were super helpful. Let me know down in the comment which tip is most helpful for you. And if you're doing any of this and how much money you're saving for Christmas. In my Money Saving Academy, most of my members save for Christmas all year long. And if not, we start talking about Black Friday and Christmas shopping in like June and July. So that way you can give yourself 5 to 6 months to save for Christmas. So if you're interested in working with me, there's details down in the comments about doing that as well. But I want to thank you all so much for your love and support. I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe out there as you are shopping, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for day 3 of Vlogmas.